Defenseless players. So this is the next section we're going to talk about. The rule book this year has some editorial comments about what constitutes a defenseless player. I have whittled some of that down to make it more practical. Basically, a defensive player is a player who is vulnerable to injury because of his physical position and or focus of concentration. The player initiating contact is responsible for making sure the contact is legal, and when in question, the player is defenseless. This is nothing new than what we've done for years. It's just now it's in writing that we're protecting the players. Examples. The passer, i.e. one who throws a legal forward pass, is considered defenseless. Now, does that mean the defense cannot hit the passer? No, that's not what this is saying. We've all seen it where the quarterback, as he releases, gets hit. And we've all seen it where the defensive player wraps up the quarterback, picks him up, and drives him into the ground on his shoulder. That's what this is talking about. The extra force that's not needed. It's one thing just to hit the quarterback, take him to the ground. It's another thing to wrap him up, lift him, and drive him into the ground and land onto the quarterback with all your weight. We've all heard this saying, punish the quarterback, hit the quarterbacks. We've all seen the injuries where the quarterback lands on the shoulder, separates the shoulder. That's what they want to eliminate, is that extra force, the unnecessary force to take down the quarterback. A receiver pitching to catch a pass who has not had the time to clearly become a runner. You become a runner when you possess the ball. So, this is the receiver that goes up, catch the ball. Again, you can hit the receiver. All right, you can get him out in the ribs, the chest, try to dislodge the ball. You can't go for the head, but you can get to him. But again, you can't wrap him up and then drive him into the ground. It's that driving part. It's that extra force that they're trying to eliminate from this standpoint. An intended receiver. So this is a guy, the quarterback's throwing to him, it's really bad, he throws an interception, and the safety comes and just levels the receiver. The defensive back steps in front, the safety just takes the receiver out. That's not necessary. That's an unnecessary personal foul. Okay? That's what they're looking for. Those type of egregious examples. You know it. It's hard to talk about it. It's hard to read about it. But you know it when you see it. Because it is so unnecessary and not a... It's not football is a contact sport, but this is unnecessary contact. A runner already in the grasp of the tackler and forward progress to stop. So defense grabs him, standing him up. You're not allowed to come in and just take him out. The defense wants to hold him up, and then some guy comes in and tries to, just level him. That's a personal foul.
But the coach said I can go till I hear the whistle.
Well, the coach is wrong.
Would that be the same as just a late hit?
Yes. Yes. It's stuff we already know. It's already a dead ball, unnecessary roughness, personal fouls, those type of things. We already know they're illegal, but now they try to put it in words on paper, and it doesn't come out as well in words as it does based on our intuition of what we know as illegal.
Can I give an example of stimulating possession of a live ball?
Stimulating.
That too.
I was just going to point out that
That's a doctor's term.
play ends when forward progress is stopped or he's down by rule.
Right.
Not when the whistle sounds.
Right.
So you still have.
The whistles should never kill a live ball unless it's an inadvertent whistle. All right, he's already down. His play is already done. Ball's already dead by rule before we blow our whistle. Again, a play on the ground, including a runner who has obviously given themselves up and sliding feet first. We don't see a lot of this in high school. Some of your more athletic quarterbacks will do it, where they run, they slide. When they slide, they give themselves up. Now, if they slide right, so the defender's coming down to hit them, and they slide right in front of him, no, I'm not going to protect you on that. Okay, you got the defense still has a right to hit you if you wait too late. So that slide, the quarterbacks have to be wise with the slide. They've got to get down and give themselves up. But the defense is already committed, and he's already going down hitting. You're not going to get protected on that. The kickoff or punt return, attempting to catch or recover a kick, obviously. Kick's in flight, he's concentrating on that. You can't go in and level the kick. I mean, this is something we see a lot of times. You know, they'll jump up and down and say big hit, great hit, and that's illegal. You can't go out there and just level the kick.
But that doesn't mean you can't hit it if you time it correctly.
Yes, correct. So he can catch it and you can hit him, but you can't go in with unnecessary force and clothesline the kid.
Unnecessary,
Yeah.
that's right.
That's the key is that all this is unnecessary.
Right.
We see this, you'll see a lot of this on punts, kicks, interceptions, the long runs, the player that's obviously out of the play, nowhere near where the ball is, and some kid comes up and levels him. That is a personal foul. We got to call those. Okay, and you'll see it. I mean, you'll see the kid start from one end of the field, and he'll make a run at somebody, and you're just like, really? Don't do that. Don't do that. And then he hits him. We got to call those. I don't care if the ball's 40 yards away. That's a safety issue right there.
No, it's
Where's the spot for that?
Well, so it depends on the penalty enforcement for that.
What kind of play it is?
Yeah. So I mean, it could be a spot foul. It could be if it's during a kick, a return. So there's a lot of different variables as to where that is depending on the play. We're gonna get to blindside blocks in a minute, so we'll come back to that. Interestingly enough, the kicker is not included in the editorial. I don't know why, because the most vulnerable player is the kicker with his leg in the air. That punter that punts it, his leg's up in the air, he can't protect himself at all. Again, so the kicker is considered defenseless, and we have to be aware as referees when he gets contacted, the position that he's in. All right. This is roughing the passer. The receiver, or I guess the running back, he threw the ball. He's the passer. He threw a legal forward pass, he's the passer. The defender's like 3 steps, 4 steps, hits him, that's roughing the passer. It's not just the quarterback by position that gets protected. It's whoever throws that legal forward pass. All right? Yeah, you can say he's defenseless. It doesn't matter. This is roughing the passer. It is what it is. You know, that will be the call. Don't come to, well, yeah, it would be me making the call, but if I'm, as a referee, I'm not going to say, well, that's, a personal foul for a defensive player. No, I'm going to say that's roughing the passer. And it's important because roughing the passer, when Larry gets to penalty enforcement, is different than a 15-yard personal foul. All right, blindside block. This is new. We're not going to go hunting this stuff, but we've all seen it. The reverse play, the punt return, where the defender gets laid out on the block. Again, there's certain criteria that are going to make this block illegal. There are certain criteria that allows this block still to be legal. And so it's important that we understand the difference so we don't start punishing the offense for a good block. So this is a block against an opponent who does not see the blocker approaching. High school kids they don't keep their heads turned, they don't know where everybody's at. And sometimes they're so concentrated on getting to the runner that they're not aware of what's going on around them. That's when they get laid out. Outside the free blocking zone. So we covered that on Monday. That free blocking zone is that area where you allow certain blocks to occur. Blocks below the waist, block in the back, and a blind side block. Forceful contact not initiated with open hands. So if I'm going to block Sam's a lot bigger than me, so I have to come up on the blind side.
Yeah.
Okay. If I come up in front of him, I'm going to get run over, and I'm going to be the one to be made fun of. So I'm coming up Sam, I've got to use my hands. My hands have to be in front, open. It can't be a shoulder. It can't be an elbow. It can't be leaning in. It's got to be your hands. That's the key to this, is where are your hands when you initiate the contact. They don't want you going in with the shoulders and the elbows. Just watch this. We'll watch it one more time and then we'll talk about it.
That one's okay.
All right, we've got 2 illegal blocks here, 2 blindside blocks. All right. Right, there's one.
That one looked okay.
They're not GSK fouls because it's during the return.
Did his helmet come off?
Okay. The reason why the first one is because he doesn't use his hands. He uses his shoulder. Watch the contact. It's with the shoulder. It's not with the open hand.
Looks like it led with his head too. That one led with his head.
Could that be taunting also?
You could also get that.
Yeah, we'll blow it up in a second.
Yeah.
Second block. The one everybody sees out in the open. I don't think I would call that a flagrant, even though I think this is black wood, which is tempting. But it is something to consider in the back of your mind, that can be a flagrant. What that is.
That's with that shoulder up in the head.
All they did,
Now,
He took a hand.
before we blow it up,
Flagrant.
this is what the flag is for. That block right there. That's not a block in the back. No. So,
That judge got to pick that one up.
I had to carry 2 flags.
Can you freeze them? Can you stop them?
Or slow it down.
Me.
which one do you want me to stop? I'll blow it up again and we'll make it look like first one. Like the first one.
What's he for? That one is just total right there.
They call the block in the back on this?
Yeah, they call it white back right there.
That's called by the field judge.
That's not a field judge, that's, yeah, it is.
What's the field judge thrown in front of between the side judge and the back judge?
That's one of them.
Ooh.
He still led with the head. So watch the second
That's close.
one. You just keep watching.
Joe's not blocking the back. That one right there, right there, right there.
He kind of led with his head though.
Hold on, guys.
You've got to use your hand.
That one right there.
That's what I said.
I think he is.
He leads with the shoulder.
two guys standing right there.
First block right there.
And the other, the field that's coming out right with the sign there to the left.
Now, that's the block in the back there.
That's what they, okay, so this is the block.
That ain't no block in the back there.
This is what the flag is for. That's not a block in the back. Okay, first of all, not a block in the back. Second, hold on.
Come on, guys.
Second of all, this official has no business calling that block over there. Okay?
I agree with that.
He has no business doing that. So that's number one. That guy and that guy. But that's not a foul, okay? So, as far as the block goes,
Oh, okay. Right there.
See, look at him bleeding down with the head right into the chest.
this
Block's on the 45.
is an illegal block.
I say it's illegal too.
Let me just talk about that.
I don't think they're illegal.
And we're gonna get her, and I completely, I kind of disagree with you on, okay, I don't disagree, but his head is turned to the side, but his body is completely square, and so if we start looking for, you know, where is his head looking in that situation, we're gonna have way too many flags in this. I mean, he squares up, this defender does everything he needs to do, except put his hands out in front of the guy. And I don't think that's an illegal block. I think the next
This year
is a
it
good
is.
example, but I don't think that was.
This year.
This year it is.
It's not a blindside block. It might be illegal,
If
but
he
it's
gets him
not
above the
blindside.
shoulders, it's illegal, I got that, but I just think that guy completely squares up.
No,
He just
no,
happens to
no,
have his head turned.
no.
See, how did he see it?
I think the second one could.
How did he see that all the way across the field?
We're not even thinking about that part.
We're not talking about that. Yeah, this is, we're not talking about that block right there.
Keep on that. Over there. He ain't even looking. You can see he ain't even looking at that block. He looking back there.
One of the things that you
He's
said
still looking
earlier
back
was it's egregious.
Right.
And I think one of the things that makes it egregious is, does that defender have an opportunity to make a play
He's not even
on the
looking.
ball carrier? Is that block necessary for the play to advance? And I think that has an impact on whether we should be throwing a flag or not. In totality of the play, how much of a chance does that player have to make a tackle?
A lot. He's right at the point.
He has a lot of a chance, okay? I think the next one has absolutely no chance of making the play. And I think that's one of the things that makes it egregious or not.
His helmet is right underneath the defender's helmet.
It didn't hit him there. Go run it back. I don't think that helmet hits it. I think his shoulder hits it.
Blindside. Doc.
Yeah, his helmet is done. But
Doc,
does that kid have a chance?
go back to the
make that
definition.
play? I don't think he does.
Because you said it clearly. Definition. Don't see him coming.
He has a chance to make that play.
Go back to the definition. There you go. There you
Don't
go.
let him make the block.
Look, first one. First one.
This is where it's gonna get tricky by
Thank you.
definition, is they do not see.
Exactly.
That guy did not see him coming.
You don't have to be looking at him.
Sir, if he's
You
coming,
don't have to be looking square at him.
coming out of his periphery, that's where the judgment is on that.
Yes.
And as we can debate, that first block is debatable. I mean, you know, you watch these things enough times.
If you take that too carefully, then half of the blocks that are made in the free blocking zone are blindside blocks.
Well, now the free blocking zone is legal. The free blocking zone, you can do blindside blocks.
You can't have a
So
front.
we can make a blindside block,
In the free blocking zone.
okay?
You cannot have one.
Yeah.
But we can't make a legal crackback block on a linebacker or a sweep.
Yes. We got video of that.
Good.
Like this one.
Good job. Good job.
Put your hands out, you got no problem.
Lead with your hand.
Put your hands, you got no problem.
I got that one. That's, that was only like 10 questions. Watch this one. That's I would say that.
We can debate the first one.
Come on, guys.
Listen up.
And,
Listen up.
and the first one, light speed, it's questionable.
Okay.
That second one, you gotta get that one.
Gotta get it.
Okay.
Send him home.
That second one, you gotta get this.
Send him home. Yep. Send him home. Yes.
Hey, I probably got the first one. Let me make a comment about that second one. All right, can you blow it back up again? All right, watch this, guys, and for the new guys especially, you know, this guy has what we call a brick in his hand, right? You see a kid walking in his neighborhood with a brick, what's he gonna do?
Throw it.
He's gonna throw that thing through somebody's window. Watch this guy.
Yeah,
His
he's
team is
taking-
going this
taking
way, and he's coming back this way, so you know he's got a brick in his hand. So somebody needs to watch him.
At all times.
Now,
This is big.
that's
As soon as I get out.
okay, and Lightwood, Eric's right, man, they're good at this kind of stuff. The only injection I've had recently was at Lightwood, where they did this to a quarterback who had thrown an interception. And I just happened to keep my eye on that quarterback, and he just got decleated exactly like this. This is textbook definition of a blindside block. You know, I would eject this guy from the game if I was the flag official. I'm not gonna be, or maybe I am in this situation. Because, and then the next thing you do is look at the kid on the ground. I mean, he's injured,
Yeah.
he's hurt, and that's a problem.
He takes aim.
And in terms of mechanic, I know we talked about mechanics last time. You know, the guys opposite, the flag judge, the linesman, in this case, is that man crew, I guess it is, umpire.
These two back there should get that right there.
Oh, yeah.
We have to be looking for that stuff.
Yes.
We have the whole field in front of us. You have to see everybody.
One of the problems is this line judge officiating across the field, he loses focus
Right.
on his side field.
That's a field judge.
That's the official right here.
Now, let's say that-
It's the fireman crew.
Look at the umpire in the seven. See that one? The umpire is
Yeah. I see him now.
The point is, hey, listen up. The point
Come on,
is,
guys.
that the guys, the backside officials, plays going away from us, we
Right.
still have a responsibility, and that's to see the entire field
Mhm.
and get these blocks, get the cheap shots. The guys that are closest to the ball,
Look at it.
the field judge and the line judge, they've got the spot, they've got the football. The rest of us have to take the big picture on those things.
Exactly.
Zone
All
cover.
right, there's another one.
That's all right. Thank you, nothing. Oh, man. Hey.
That's the foul. He's got to leave with his hands. He's got to leave with his hands.
So, by definition, this is an illegal block.
Exactly.
He's outside the free blocking zone, initiation was short.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Got to leave with his
Nothing to
hands.
do with that. This is not a block in the back. This is a blindside
Blindside
block.
block.
Does the defender see him coming?
Maybe at the last minute, but he still sees it.
No, that's a blind. That's textbook there, baby. That's textbook
That's where
right
his
there.
hands have got to be in front.
There's another block on this one that you'll see on the end zone view. Is that one?
Man, that's coming up.
Ooh, behind him. Yeah, yeah.
Getting hurt.
That's just don't come that. That guy that ran into him was looking at the big one.
The second one.
Ooh, yeah.
That second one is a dead ball foul. Okay?
You got nothing on the first one, right?
Yeah, you do.
Yes.
There's nothing on that.
There's nothing on the person.
This year, that's textbook blindside block. Got to be.
It looks. He's
It
looking.
is a blindside block.
Look at the ball
By
carrier.
definition,
Yes.
Now, the first one right there.
that's a blindside block.
No.
That has to be a blindside block.
No.
Yeah. Go back to the definition, Doc.
On that block,
Hold on. Hey, listen up, listen up.
Yeah, listen.
Listen up.
Under the way the rules were, that would not be a blindside block.
We ain't
I mean,
talking about
that was a legal hit.
Last year was legal.
Last year's a
Last year was
hit.
legal.
But what I want to point out is because this official over here threw his flag on this legal block over here, and he's focused on that, he misses all that happened just right there from him because he's not.
Well, they got a back judge that's got to get that too.
All right,
Listen up.
listen up.
Listen up.
30 yards down the field.
Listen,
By definition,
listen up.
by definition, this is going to be a blindside block.
Exactly.
Okay?
Because the one guy helped me understand, I'm gonna judge that he couldn't see when he hit him completely in front of him. He was not aware he was in front of him.
Go back to
He
definition.
was not, the
Go back to
player
definition.
did not see him coming.
That's right.
The player being blocked did not see him coming.
So it's completely a judgment call, so it's left up. I mean, I-
Yes.
Wasn't no block.
Yes.
That was, it might, it ain't one of them.
Here, and you can slow him down and stop it.
There you go.
Look at that.
He can still make that block. Yeah. But he has to put his hand, leave with his hands.
Show the hands on the shot here.
It's a safety rule, gentlemen. He's got to leave with his hands.
The other thing to remember about this is the hands.
Right.
If he uses his hands to initiate contact, it's
The
legal.
block.
If he uses his shoulder or his elbow, it's illegal. That's what,
He's in front of him.
that's what the rule is. He did
That's what the
not
rule
see
says.
him coming.
Gary, explain something to me now. He's in front of the man. Right now, it's hard for me to believe that white can't see black coming.
Let's not,
Go back to the rules.
He's running.
All right, let's define the rules.
And he's running, and the player comes from this angle.
Okay.
And right last second hits him in front, he did not see him coming.
Right.
That's a
It don't, the rules don't say front, it says didn't see him coming. Let's keep one thing in mind, guys. Let's keep one thing in mind.
listen up.
Let's keep one thing in mind. He can still make that block, but he has to make it with his hands out. And that's the only thing. They don't want you to put the shoulder and the elbow in there. He can still make that block. Right. He does not have to pass on that block. Right. But he has to have his hands out when he makes the block.
So he can hit him on the side with his hand.
He hit him just like that, with leave with his hands. Absolutely. And that makes it simple.
We'll see an example of that in a second.
So just don't go in with your shoulders.
Absolutely.
Shoulder low. Shoulder with your hand.
What's up?
I'm making the block with his hand. You got a 180-pound receiver blocking a 300-pound guy with his hand. He can break his hand. You're not worried about that?
Yeah, we're gonna go with the rules.
Actually, we're gonna see that in a
We're
second.
gonna go with the rules.
We're gonna see how the receiver does this legally in a second.
Yeah,
Okay,
good.
we're gonna see how it's kind of legal. The other thing to remember, now again, it's not penalty enforcement, I know that, but that second block that occurs over here somewhere,
Yeah.
that's a dead ball foul. Yes, sir. So you have a live ball foul and a dead ball foul. All right, I'll let Larry talk about that next week. But those are two, that's important to know. You have to know that. And the back judge has got to be aware. Right where you are. Over to that other block.
Ask your question again, Bruce.
Listen up, listen up.
Where's the back judge right now?
He's over to the right.
He's worried about the pass.
Listen up, guys.
That's a mechanics which
Right.
we have to get correct. He's gotta be moving this way.
Exactly.
To have coverage.
On a running
Because the wing guy's got coverage on the runner. If the back judge is following up, doing what he's supposed to, he gets that last one, that dead ball foul. We stop and watch too often.
Right.
Gary, carry on. Gary, he has a question.
So what were you called? That is a blindside block. That's a legal block.
Right.
Yep.
Alright, another play?
Listen up.
Line
All right, now, two things on this play.
Listen up, listen up.
Two things.
Listen up.
First of all, this is a dead ball foul.
Mm-hmm.
He's out of bounds.
Runs out there.
He's dead ball foul.
Ball dead.
So if you come tell me
Borderline.
you have a blindside
Run
block
out of
on this,
bounds. Run
I'm
out
gonna
of
be like,
bounds.
no, we have a dead ball, personal foul.
Ball
He's
way out of bounds.
Okay, we're gonna go with
Look where the
what
ball
the
is.
simple thing is. Dead ball, personal foul.
See, ball way out of
He's
bounds.
out of bounds by like two
Not
yards.
the guy getting blocked, but the ball's dead.
If he was still in bounds, this would be an illegal blindside block.
Right.
The defender does not see him coming, and he does not lead with the hands. He leads with the shoulder. You agree with that?
The ball's out of bounds.
All right, watch this one.
Nothing.
All right, watch it again.
Ball's still in the zone.
And the blocker was
That's a good block.
That's a legal block. That ball is still in the zone.
Yeah, that's a good block.
But the blocker,
Player wasn't in there.
but the blocker was not in the zone. The blocker was not in the zone.
Block,
Yes, he is.
the block has to be in the zone.
Does the blocker have to be?
The block has to be in the zone.
Right. Doesn't-
Even if A
Right,
is
but the
not-
blocker has to be in the zone too.
Both of them, he's in the zone.
The blocker was not in the zone. He's off the line back here. Look, he's
Doesn't
not
say,
in the
the
zone.
rule don't say where he had to start. It says just the block itself,
It says
not
the
where,
block
not where they
has to
lined
be in the
up.
zone.
Not where they lined
It
up.
doesn't say, the rule doesn't say
block.
that the blocker has to start in the zone.
Exactly.
Snap, has to be on
Just
none
the
of
block,
that.
just the block.
It says the block has to be in the free blocking
That's
zone.
all it says.
Below the waist. If you do it below the waist, that means, if you do it below the waist.
The waist, that's right. In the back.
Yes.
Okay, but blindside block, no.
Just the block has to be in the zone. Good job, man. That's good stuff there, baby.
In the free blocking zone, when the contact meets the
All right,
requirements
Dylan,
of
say this one.
217 is the free blocking zone. So the player is in the free blocking zone. He's part of the free blocking zone. He's not in the zone.
Yeah. He lined him up.
Block below the waist. Everybody got
Again.
in the zone, when the contact is.
It used to be.
The block is your back. The guy is blocking.
All right, that's legal. That's legal. Watch his hand. Blow it up.
Let's see.
Watch his hand. Watch the blocker's hand.
Oh, yeah, I do remember this one.
Watch his hands. Hands are in front, he pushes. He pushes with his hands are open with initial contact.
Go back to the rule. If his shoulder comes into him after his hands, he's still good.
Initial contact, open hands, and then body can come. Okay? So he can come like this and with body. So that wide receiver going to block that linebacker we talked about, that's how he has to do it. He's got to run through him with his hands in front.
But our intent is safety, and we know that that's not gonna happen. I mean, look at this guy, he got hammered.
If he leads with open hands, it's a legal block. Open hand. He runs through him, his hands open, it's fine.
You need to come.
No, you don't.
Three, please.
Look at this, he's got the white gloves on to make it easy for him. Look at his hands. They're open, they're in front. That is legal. The difference in this one and the other ones is the hands. He's not going in like this, he's going like this. They give it away, he gives it away afterwards. Just watch how his hands react.
You block the way, they look at the end zone. You look at them.
Good stuff there. Yeah.
Offensive line.
He puts his hands on it.
His hands follow through. That is legal.
It's not.
That's one thing. I know we're kind of concerned about the block, but that's one thing that's gonna make that block easy for us. Whether or not he has his hands or whether he's leading with his shoulder. Shoulder is the illegal block, leading with his hands, legal block. It's gonna make it real easy for us.
Yep.
We don't have to look for it, we just have to identify it when we see it.
Well.
Pass plan.
Still say the same thing is, can that defender make the tackle? That guy can.
That's not part of the rule.
Got nothing to do with the rule. That ain't got nothing to do with the rule. You read too much into it.
The definition.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
Yes, there is, what Jay's talking about, there is an element up to this, but the rule is, as written, is a blindside block is illegal if it's outside the free blocking zone and if it's not initiated with open hands.
And the defender can't see him.
That's gonna be the way the test question is gonna be worded, and it's gonna be true or false. Somehow, those are the criteria you have to have. A block that the defender does not see coming outside the free blocking zone without open hands.
Emphasize scrimmages and points. Hey guys, one more thing. As we're going through our scrimmages, let's make certain we point that out and so that the coaches can identify it and let them know with the shoulder versus the hand. Shoulder is going to be called, hands is going to be legal. And so we're going through our scrimmages. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some blindside blocks that they're going to be trying them. Let's just point them out to them. Let's certainly flag them in the scrimmage.
Doug, excuse me, Bruce has got the exact language on the test. Hold on.
We're stalling.
I can't.
Give it here, Bruce. I'll find it for you.
I hear what you're saying, but you're probably gonna see this a lot, but you're gonna see this more than.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to make a determination.
Right.
When I come in here like this, or they come in here like this, with the hands closed. Out there, that's.
Easy.
That's not a problem, but they're gonna come in here like this,
Right.
undecided on whether they're gonna use their hands and drop the shoulder or help them. That's where your judgment has to come in. And you better have good judgment.
It's not, this is not gonna be, when I was watching these videos, I'd watch them 5, 6 times, I'd slow them down, back them up, go forward, okay? We don't have that option.
That's right. That's right.
So the key for me on these blocks is I'm looking at his hands. I just have to look at his hands. That's what's going to be the key on these things, is where are his hands. Hopefully he's wearing nice shiny white gloves that make it easy. But that's for me, that's going to be my key on these blocks, is where are the hands.
I think this is good stuff. If we learn it now, we'll be more consistent throughout the year.
All right.
A blindside block is a block against an opponent other than the runner who does not see the blocker approaching.
Hello?
True or false?
True.
All right, you
Hello?
got one right. You see the issue we have when we see the play.
Exactly.
Imagine trying to write a question and give you enough information to answer it. You can't do it. We're having difficulty watching it.
You're right.
So I can't. Maybe next year it'll be different, but
Yeah.
right now, it's just strictly word for word out of the book.
There's 20 of us watching, got 20
It's not
opinions.
printed, but it's done as Charlie has.
In the zone. In the zone.
It's the same play, just the other side. They just ran the same play twice. Again, that's in the zone. If the block's in that free blocking zone, it's legal.
Even though A is not in the blocking?
The blocker does not have to be in the free blocking zone at the snap. The block has to be in the zone. So he has to get into the zone to make the block, but he doesn't have to start in the zone at the snap.
Not for a blindside block, for other
Not
stuff.
for a blindside block.
For other stuff.
Some part looks good. Starts dancing.
I think it's out of state. I don't think this is. It don't matter. Yeah, I think it's out of state, I believe. All right, there's another one. There's the last video clips. We've already seen this play once.
Oh, yeah, we saw this one earlier. No block. Oh, watch this. Yeah. Boom, right there.
They got two of them.
Ejection. Watch that block. Watch the last block.
So we all know that's illegal based on Monday.
Watch this one. Watch the block. See him come.
Right there.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Oh, sure.
okay, we all know that's an illegal block. Now, what is the foul? What are you going to tell me that it is? Is it a block in the back?
Dead ball.
That's
Is it
dead
a
ball.
blindside block? Or is it a live ball personal foul?
That's dead ball.
Dead ball.
Dead ball personal foul.
Personal foul. Blindside block.
It still needs to be dead.
Okay.
Dead ball. He's down. Boom.
Right.
That's not dead ball.
So, it's not a block in the back because he hits him on the side. He's in the frame. It is technically a blindside block, but this is actually a live ball personal foul. The runner is not down when that contact is made. He is not down yet. That's a live ball personal foul.
So what makes it different?
What about the first one right there, 21-yard line?
Let's just assume that one didn't happen.
So, yeah. The first one is a block below the waist. We talked about that Monday.
Yeah.
The reason why this is important is you have to know if this is live ball or dead ball. If you say that's a dead ball foul, and you got the first block below the waist, they're going back to like the 5-yard line by the time you do the penalty enforcement. If you realize that this is a live ball foul, you have 2 live ball fouls.
Multiple.
So then they have to pick one.
But you're calling it a personal foul.
Actually, I take that back. I'm sorry. It's a double foul.
Double foul.
It's a double foul.
Double foul. The other team, yeah.
We got one on white.
White commits the illegal,
Green.
commits the foul.
Green commits the foul there.
Both of them against green. It's multiple, Doc. It's multiple.
Green does the second one too?
Yeah.
He's got one there.
Green.
20.
Come on, guys.
Come on. Stop.
White does it.
Wait a minute.
White.
That was white.
Green does it.
Green.
26 green did it.
Hold up, guys. Hold up.
That's green.
26 green did it.
Let's see.
One.
That's foul on white.
There you go. 26 green. You forgot the other one. There's another one right to the right of it. Look at the one to the right of it.
I didn't see those.
Look to the right.
Hold up.
Look to the right. You got this one, and then look at the right.
Okay. Yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah, 26 green hit 41.
So, I mean,
Yeah, I didn't see that one over there. Yeah, it was green.
they got one there. Alright. So we got one there.
And I'm talking about this one might be the dead
We got
ball.
white right there.
Wait a second, he's still up.
And watch 26.
He's still up here.
Number 2. That's white right there.
Now see if the other one's a dead ball.
He's not down yet.
That's what I thought it was. Next one coming.
He's down. He's down. That's the dead ball. That's the dead ball foul.
So, on this play,
It's up.
we got 3 fouls.
Yeah.
We got 3 fouls on this play. We have the block below the waist on the receiving team. We have the live ball personal foul on the kicking team. Those are going to offset. So we're going to replay them down. Then we have a dead ball personal foul against green. So now we're going to go 15 from the previous spot.
50, 45,
Aaron,
60.
your original question was about
Yeah,
the
no, I didn't see that one.
blindside block, but then you would come and report it to the referee as a personal foul. So were you trying to emphasize the fact that it's a blindside block, but that is a personal foul?
It is, for me, for this play, it is a blindside block, but it's also a personal foul because it's contact against a player away from the play.
Okay.
So I'm going to go, partly for simplicity's sake, and to limit my conversation with the coaches, I'm going to say that's a personal foul, contact away from the, against a player away from the ball, the player.
Play.
Okay? If we start saying the coaches, that's a blindside block, that's a lot more explaining to do than if we say, as a personal foul for contact against a player away from the play.
Now, that's good stuff right there.
That's
Yes, sir.
and then I'm glad you saw that. And you can watch these things 1,000
That's the
times
only
and
one
find
I
stuff.
saw. I didn't see the other one.
And then you've got the other kid comes in at the pile and takes a cheap shot. So mechanic wise, he's got the spot. Okay, he is going to be focused on this right here. You have a referee who hasn't done anything the entire return.
Okay. Umpires all the way out of
You
everything.
got, supposedly, there's an umpire.
Somewhere.
Still running down the field.
There's a wing guy and a wing guy somewhere
You're on the
in
50.
this area of blue on the wall
He's still on the 50.
that need to get, these four guys, get that block and that block. That's the big picture view that we have to have on those.
Umpire's got to come up and get.
Run again, Doc.
Yep.
Let's see where he started.
The only one that's really trailing back there is the umpire.
It's on the kickoff.
First foul on Laura, he's there.
One,
Second foul,
two,
there.
Three.
And so they called nothing.
they call it nothing.
So we got
They call it nothing. So, one key point is, we see these fouls on the video. They're harder to see on the film, bird's eye view, but when the coaches watch the video on Sunday morning, they're like, what are these guys doing? And then they send it in to Bruce and Charlie, and they're like, what are these guys doing? Bruce and Charlie, I don't know what they're doing. You know, they're not paying attention. That's what they're talking about. We gotta get the obvious stuff out there. All right.
No, it's five-man.
That's 5-man. Okay, so now we're going to move on to other parts of Rule 9. We are going to post the video link on YouTube, is that right? Okay, I'll send you the Google Drive. And so this presentation will be posted so you can get into these videos and zoom in, fast forward, rewind, and get a feel for what it looks like.
Don't send me no more Google Drive.
Except for Sam Davis, who has a 1986 computer.
I put over that damn thing for nothing.
Unsportsmanlike. I'll try to do this here in 15 minutes. Non-player contact with an official. Okay, so remember who your definition of non-players are. They're not non-players, anybody other than the 22 that start the game. So these are, the bench, including coaches, attendants, cheerleading coaches, administrators, bus drivers, mamas, whoever's on the sideline. You never know nowadays how many people on the sideline.
Preachers.
Unintentional contact by non-player, 15 yards to sitting spots. Okay? First offense, charge to the head coach. The coach gets 2. First offense, charge to the head coach. Does it again, charge to the head coach. Now you have an ejection. And you have an unhappy head coach. If it's intentional, then it's 15 yards to sitting spot. If it's unsportsmanlike fouls, they're enforcement that's a sitting spot. The offending player is ejected. And we're not going to penalize the head coach for not controlling the sidelines. If some fool comes up and bumps one of us intentionally, we're going to eject that person. All right? Non-contact by non-players. So these are just the players outside the box, outside the team box. This includes the restricted area when the ball is live. We talked about this in a video Monday. The white belongs to us. It does not belong to the teams. Get them off the field. Okay, I don't know why defensive coaches need to come to the numbers to give signals. I don't know whether the defensive players can't see or what the problem is. But they like to come all the way out there. They got to be off the field. And you got to get them back into the team box. They can yell first to call holding just as well from the team box as they can from the white.
That's right.
Okay? They can yell. We'll hear it. So that 2-yard belt, get them out of there. Only 3 coaches in the restricted area during a dead ball period. So when they're giving the signals, we don't need 6 coaches out there giving signals. They only get 3. And again, it's a seeking spot foul. Now, there's a progression. So being outside the team box, there is a progression. First offense is a warning. Typically, if you work with Doug Drinning, that's going to be enough for the first play. The second offense is 5 yards. Yeah, it's a sitting spot, 5 yards. Third offense is a 15-yarder, fourth, and etc. So don't get the message 15 yards. These unsportsmanlike penalties are charged to the head coach. He's responsible for keeping his team off in their team box. He's responsible for that.
Question. So, contact with an official in the restricted area is a personal foul that's counted as
unsportsmanlike.
Yes, by non-players.
By non-players.
By non-players, yeah. Unsportsmanlike. Yeah. If it's a player, then it's a live ball, personal foul. But by non-players, we're going with the.
Now, the definition of a player and a non-player. Non-player is one that's
Not a player.
Not a player.
You've got to know that.
Yeah.
Players on the field.
A player, or the 22 players.
One of the 22.
So there's a play, there's 22 players. Everybody else is a non-player.
Is it coming? It's coming together.
Okay, so when it comes to head coach unsportsmanlike penalties, non-player contact foul is assigned to the head coach. So that's, little Johnny just standing there next to Doug Hudson, just talking to him. Doug likes to talk. Talking to him. Doug turns around and runs into him. That's a non-player contact foul. Head coach gets penalized. Doug should be penalized too for talking, but he gets penalized. Well, that's the truth. That's why you had to move the referee, so you quit talking so much. If you have a Doug Hudson game and he's the referee, pregame starts at 4 o'clock, you may be done.
That's a good one.
You just do 7-hour games.
So, this is important. Non-player contact personal fouls that are charged to the head coach are not combined with non-contact, non-player, unsportsmanlike conduct fouls for ejection purposes. So what am I saying here? First quarter, a non-player bumps into an official. We got unsportsmanlike. That's number 1. Second quarter, the team, there's a, coach wanders outside the team box. They don't get a warning. There's no more warnings because their warning was when they bumped in the first quarter. So he's outside the team box. That's a 5-yard penalty. Third quarter, another coach has wandered outside the team box. That's the 3rd time that they've been outside the team box. That's an unsportsmanlike penalty charged to the head coach. You do not combine the first quarter contact with the 3rd quarter being outside the team box to eject the coach. He still gets 1 more. 4th quarter. They don't got it. You've already ejected the get back coach for something else. So the 4th quarter, another player or coach gets outside the team box. Now you have your second unsportsmanlike. Now he's gone.
The head coach.
The head coach. Or in the 4th quarter, you have another contact by a non-player against an official. He's ejected. The head coach is ejected because that's 2 for either one. So you have to make sure that you know what you're calling. And when you write it down on your card, all right, first quarter, we had non-player contact, 1. Third quarter, we had non-player outside, non-contact, 1. You have to know what you have and tell the coach what he's got, that way he knows as well. Because it's amazing. They get really far back. The closer that coach gets to being ejected, they'll be outside the fence before too long. And it gets to be a problem. Yes, Jay?
Is it possible you could end up ejecting an assistant coach and the head coach on that fourth one?
Assistant coach and fourth. You're going to eject the head coach.
You're going to eject the head coach because I ran into an assistant coach in the restricted zone.
Yeah, if it's
So
unintentional.
he's gone too.
No, if it's unintentional, it just goes to the head coach.
Right.
Okay, all right,
If it's
thank you.
intentional, it would go to the assistant coach.
Okay, gotcha.
And not the head coach.
And not the head coach, that's right.
Good,
So, yeah.
thank you.
Is that somewhat clear?
Good question, good question.
Illegal participation. I cannot cover Rule 9, illegal participation, without going back to Rule 3, illegal substitution. Okay, I don't know who's in charge of the rule book and the organization, Bruce, but these two go together. Definitions. You got to know these. Participation is any act or action by a player or non-player that influences the play. Player is one of the 22 team members designated to start the game or replaces another player. Replace players, a player who's coming off. A non-player is anybody who's not a player. And a substitute is one that fills a player vacancy. He becomes a player. This is important. When does a substitute become a player? When he enters the field and communicates. The teammate, game official, enters the huddle, is in formation, or otherwise participates. Pretty standard stuff. So, your illegal participation foul. You have a live ball basic spot foul. This is when A or K steps out of bounds prior to change of possession. Intentional or unintentional, it doesn't matter. Ball is snapped, A cannot step out of bounds. On a punt, ball is snapped, K cannot step out of bounds. Any player who intentionally steps out of bounds. So, the defense can unintentionally step out of bounds, but they cannot intentionally step out of bounds. Non-player that influences the play. A player or non-player that enters during the down and participates. The helmet comes off a player and they continue to participate. Now, what is the basic spot for these fouls? It's where they either come back in play, so it's not where they go out of bounds. If he steps out of bounds and he stands there out of bounds, or stands there, he's not, and the defense wants to stand there with him, they're stupid. Okay? But when he comes back in play, that's where the foul is. Where they participate, that's where the foul is. All right? Live ball previous spot. Injured player, not replaced for one down. This should never happen. You call timeout for an injured player. You know who the player is. You send him off. I don't care if A calls 3 timeouts in a row. That player is not coming back.
That's right.
Okay? That should never happen. 12 or more players participate during a down. This gets harder and harder for us to prevent because of the no huddle and the speed at which these teams go. Ideally, we want to get the illegal substitution, 12 in formation foul. You know, count. Oh crap! I think I count 12. Am I right? I'm counting again. But it's getting harder and harder to get that because they go so fast. And a disqualified player re-enters. Again, it should never happen. Now, as far as disqualified players go, coaches have to go outside the stadium. No contact. Gone. Go to the house. Take a shower. Go where Ted's going right now. To the house. Players do not have to leave the stadium. Do not make a coach send a kid out of the stadium if there's nobody to watch them. okay? They can stand in the team box. They can't say a word. They don't say a word, so. But they can stay in that team area. We cannot be sending a kid out there with no supervision.
That's right.
Deception. Live ball previous spot. The player was lying on the ground at or immediately prior to the snap or free kick. Never seen it. I guess it could happen.
On the test.
Yeah. Or a substitution, a pretend substitution, immediately prior or at the snap or free kick. So the play where the kicking team runs on. They're going to try a punt. They're going to try a field goal. 10 guys run on. 11 guys start to run off. One stops on the sideline. They snap the ball, throw in the ball. That is illegal participation. That is deception. That is not allowed. The hideout play is not allowed. Illegal substitution fouls. So, these are dead ball fouls if a replaced player fails to leave within 3 seconds. Okay? We don't have the breaking the huddle with 12. That's not a high school rule. But you have to leave within 3 seconds.
Yeah, every game we officiated this.
So, the rule is you have to leave within 3 seconds.
Not the
The
coach.
way we kind of officiate that is, when they get out the information, if I have 12, somebody didn't leave.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the foul is. Like I said, when they go in no huddle, and then if they want to go so fast, that is their responsibility to get their kids off the field. It's not mine. So if you want to go too fast where I can finish counting, and I'm at number 9, and you snap the ball and I go, 10, 11, 12, it's 15. It's not my job to save him 10 yards. It's the coach's job for his kids to know who should be on and off the field. A player, replaced player, substitute fails to leave the field on the sideline where the team box is located. Can't go out the back of the end zone. He can't go out the other side to get off the field. Replaced player, replaced player, substitute leaves the field on the proper sideline but doesn't go directly to the team box. He can't step off and stand there and watch. He's got to go to the team box. And then a substitute cannot become a player and withdraw during the same dead ball period unless there's a timeout or a dead ball penalty. Okay? And you see this, the kid runs on, and then, oh crap, it's supposed to be on or something like that. We don't really enforce this one very much. Okay? It's just kind of a let them get lined up type deal. Obviously, these are 14 to 18-year-old kids. They don't know where they're supposed to be.
That's good.
Those are dead ball fouls.
Okay.
Live ball foul.
I didn't realize that.
Previous spot. Staring it down, the place player or substitute unsuccessfully leaves the field and does not participate. He's running. He doesn't get off. Now, for you wing officials, he's running and he's past you, he's off. Okay? So that's the mechanic there. Failure of a substitute to be on their side of the neutral zone when the ball is snapped or free kicked. So he's coming on, he doesn't get there, but he stops and he stands there. That's a live ball foul, previous spot, illegal substitution. He's running, he doesn't get to his side of the neutral zone, ball snapped, he keeps running, he participates. Now you have an illegal participation foul. So his action determines what you have there. Live ball, succeeding spot foul, during a down, replace player or substitutes, enter during the down but do not participate. I've seen this one time. I got punished and got sent to Crestwood. I don't know what I did. But we go out there and there's a punt. And the offense for Crestwood decides during the return they're going to start walking on the field. So like 10 of them just start strolling onto the field during the play.
Wow.
And I'm like, what did I do? What have I done to the high school league? But so I was the only one that knew the rule. So I had to flag it. And none of the coaches knew what I was talking about, so it was an easy explanation. But it's a sitting spot, live ball foul, non-player foul, because they're not players. However, if one of those kids would come on and influence the play, now you have a illegal participation, basic spot foul. So you have to know what the player does, or the substitute, the non-player, what they do when they come on the field.
Now, does that count for being out of the team box as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if they're on the field.
Right.
All right. That is Rule 9, sort of. A lot of Rule 9 I didn't cover, as y'all can tell. That's in the handout that I emailed out last week. Rule 9 is a lot. If there's any questions or anything you can think of, feel free to call me, email me, text me.